Ah, Helena. Man, am I so glad to see her in this kind of skin. This has been one of the few skins I've been, like, dying for her to get, especially after Cleveland got it. But glad to finally see her get this. I know it's been out for a while, and I haven't had her as secretary in a while, so it's definitely something I'm glad to see. Anyway, today we're going to be covering Helena's lovely little memory, just to kind of see what it's all about, because apparently I did not realize that it came out, so I kind of feel like I did something pretty bad for her there. Sorry about that. Anyway, let's go ahead and dive right on in and see what it's all about. Cinnamon roll on a rainy day. Well, they got one part of it right. Helena do be a cinnamon roll. Insert all of the diabetes jokes that you could possibly ever put into this. Sweet as sugar. Early morning, outside the office. I was nearing my office, and that's when I saw a familiar figure right by the door. Good morning, Commander. I'll, be your secretary starting today. I thought I should wait for you before stepping inside, so here I am. Well, that's nice of you. I mean, you don't have to do that. I wouldn't want anyone to sit outside of an office if I'm not there. I mean, if it's unlocked, that is. If it's locked, there's nothing they can do about it, but that's just the way it is. Also, man, it really shows how much, like, the artwork for her has changed when you look at her base art compared to, like, a lot of her artwork now. Like, it's probably more the artist's style change, which is never a bad thing. I mean, Helena's not the only one that has had this. Yudachi is a very good example of this as well. She kind of goes from being the usual way that we've seen her to kind of a more moe blob kind of look. Not entirely, but you can see the slight style change there for Yudachi. Anyway, right, today was the day Helena would start as my secretary. I then noticed she brought a big stack of notes with her. She was just sitting outside the door holding that with her? Oh my goodness, you shouldn't have to do that. Okay, first things first, sorting paperwork. Helena placed her stack of notes on the table and started flicking through them. Paperwork. Ah, here it is. She went through a sheet with gorgeous handwriting and adorned with a colorful stamp to boot. Are you wondering what my notes are for? They're a list of secretary tips I compiled by asking girls around the port. I figured their advice would help me perform my job better, so yeah. Learn from experience, yeah. I mean, that does definitely help. Talk about playing it extremely safe. To be fair, she always has been like that. Ah, crap, I haven't made you a drink yet. Do you want tea or coffee? I'll have some tea. The usual strength. The usual strength. Got it. I'll be back in a minute. I don't think she necessarily knows that, but I mean, if I had to guess, it's probably somewhere in one of her notes. She's a very studious type from what I've always known about her, so I would doubt that there wouldn't be at least one or two little things of note about his little snacks or whatever. She anxiously skimmed her notes until she found the page she was looking for, then left the office. I'm not surprised. Helena came back a while later with a kitchen scale in hand. It's so I can make exact measure. Oh, you are very, particular, huh? You don't need to be a perfectionist, Helena. It's fine. Don't hit me with that face. It's too cute. Now I have to do this. There's nothing wrong with that, right, Chad? Oh my goodness. Based on the size of your teapot, it'll take about 5 grams of tea leaves for the right strength. It's done. Here you go, Commander. I had a sip and it was just my cup of tea. Literally, I suppose. However, seeing how meticulous she was made me worry if she cooked like this, too. I prayed she wouldn't turn the kitchen into a science lab. I mean, I don't necessarily see a problem with that. I mean, sure, they have the whole science lab kind of thing. I could see that, but like, if they're putting in the exact amount of like a certain spice or something, I guess that's fine. You don't want to over-season things, and you don't want to under-season it, so... I mean, if she's gonna be that meticulous, it's not necessarily gonna be a bad thing. Granted, I think her being... There's always the whole thing about being a perfectionist, which that actually causes, like the whole, you know, being a perfectionist leads to insanity kind of concept. I don't know if cooking necessarily is gonna go that route. I'm done sorting your paperwork now. Your papers now, not paperwork. Have a look. She was already performing impeccably as a secretary. Then all of a sudden, someone came knocking on the door. Hey, Commander, we're just here to drop off yesterday's after-action report. Oh, hi. Ah, hi, St. Louis. Couldn't you have carried these papers yourself, Louis? Hi, Lulu. It was St. Louis and Honolulu. What a coincidence. What's up, Helena? Starting to get the hang of this yet? Louis, hi. Sorry, I just remembered I have to go return the scale. I have to go. Helena, you don't need to... Goodness, she left in a hurry. Helena, please! Anyhow, she's a great help around the office, isn't she, Commander? My little Helena is a diligent girl. She definitely is. Though diligent doesn't quite do it justice. More like... fastidious. I don't usually see people use that word. Alrighty then. I feel like I need to put the definition of that up for some reason. I want to do that. I get what you mean. She's a bit like rock candy, you know? I'm not sure what you mean. Rock candy, in what way? I like how she stumped both in-game me and actual me. Sweet but sticky, I suppose. Sticky? Huh? I mean, I get the sweet part, but the sticky? Eh? What do you mean? Well, seeing as we're done here, it's time we get going. Keep at it, Commander. The analogy didn't really hit home, though I had a feeling it would make sense in due time. I'm a little bit scared about the sticky part. That's gonna get quoted. Dang it. A storm is coming. Later that evening, a drizzle descended upon the port. It's starting to rain, Commander. Should we call it a day now, before it gets worse? There's still work left to do. I can't leave before it's all done. You can go home early if you want to, though. You've already finished your job. I could, but I'd hate to leave without you. Oh, Helena, please. And I'd feel bad if I let you down. I'll try to finish up quick then. Helena, please. While I was chipping away at my work, the rain had whipped up into a complete downpour. Gales rattled the windows, while thunder boomed in the distance. What began as an evening shower had grown into a storm. I have that song stuck in my head now. Oh no. I mean, I guess I'll give it a listen later, but still. Now I remember, yesterday's forecast warned there could be a big storm coming. There could be? A storm? Oh god. Seems like I got tunnel vision over my work. Sorry. Don't be sorry, it's fine. We can just wait for it to pass. Thunder rumbled outside and my stomach growled almost as if it were echoing it. I think it's time for dinner. I've got instant noodles and snacks in my drawer. Do you want some? It's just in my drawer? What? Who puts instant noodles in a drawer? Especially if, like, Me, what are you doing? Sorry, me. You don't put it in there. Helena and I both reached for the instant noodles, and our hands made contact. Uh-oh. I'd like to do the preparation. It's what a secretaryship should do. Okay, first I set the timer to 3 minutes, and then... She again flipped through her notes while seemingly reciting a recipe. I'm pretty sure the instant noodles are usually on the wrapper? I don't think she needs to flip through notes for that. It seemed like she'd written down tips for every plausible occasion. Dinner is served. Bon appetit, Commander. Ah, yes. Wow, this is really good. It's instant noodles. Seriously, this is great. Where did you learn to cook like that? Alright, me. Come on now. Well, it's actually a recipe I got from the Sakura Empire friend of mine. Oh, wait, no, they actually modified it? Oh, okay. Dried plums and potato chips have surprising culinary utility. Potato chips? Huh? The fact she even knew what snacks I keep around the office shows just how far she went to gather intel to prepare for the job. You know, this really makes some of Helena Meta's lines really creepy the more I think about it. I don't think I want to go there. I'm just gonna remind myself that Helena Meta makes nice omelets. I'll just stick with that. If you'd like, I could ask around for more recipes to add to my... Psst. Oh, power went out. What was that? A shockingly loud thunderbolt struck and the lights in the office all went out. Oh, that's unfortunate. A light in the darkness. Okay. I mean, it's not like it's not like it's gonna be the end of the world. I imagine we're like, you know, we could probably do this by candlelight, maybe. I hope. Port office. Helena and I relied on the backup lights to find our way to the breaker room. A scorched smell lingered in the air when we got to the power station. Whatever broke here, fixing it wouldn't be quite as so easy. What, did it overload? Commander, I think we have a small generator over in the depot. If we can get it online, we should be good on power, for a while at least. Let's head there together, shall we? This building's confusing layout was only made worse by our inability to see anything in the dark. Getting lost seemed like an inevitability. Oh my goodness, inability, inevitability, you hit me with both of those. It's not that I have a problem saying either of the words, it's just, ugh, they are not easy on the tongue for me. Is it this way? No, that leads to the archives. What about this way? Wait, that's not right either. The depot is this way, or at least I'm pretty sure it is. Do your notes include a blueprint of this place, or...? Oh, not exactly. It's just that I've been here once before, so I know roughly where to go. Oh, okay. If I remember right, we just have to turn right here, then left again, and then left again. I don't know. I let Helena lead the way, and after just a short while, we'd made it to the depot. Did she really memorize such a complex layout after just one prior visit? That was amazing if so. It sounded like we just took a bunch of left turns. That doesn't really seem that complex. Also, have we ever seen this background? I don't think I've ever seen anything about this. Maybe. I don't think Crosswave was the same. No, Crosswave was different. Anyway. Well, we're here. Now the question is, how are we going to find a needle in a haystack? That generator could be anywhere. I'm fairly sure it should be over in aisle 12 for shelf. Ah, there it is. Thank goodness my memory didn't betray me. You know, I've been told before that my photographic memory is relatively scary sometimes. But this one-ups me. Like, I think about it one time, because there was this memory test we took on, my family and I did for the fun of it on our 3DS. It was like the Brain Age game or something. And all of them were just memorizing random words that were on the list, and you know, we were able to see which ones were inputted in which order, so they like had them all over the place and thing. And then there's me. I don't know what my mind was thinking, but I did them all in order, top to down, left to right. I literally wrote them in order. And I got like half the list. I think my mom was scared of me. The only reason I couldn't get more than half is because I ran out of time. Because you're only allowed so much time to actually input all of the words that you could. Oh man, that was an interesting thing to do. Anyway, she even remembered its exact location. I was stunned. You got a memory like an elephant. Does an elephant have that much of a memory? I don't know that much about elephants, actually. Please, that's not true. I just had a gut feeling it would be here. Also, we're going to need some fuel for the generator. Even in near pitch black darkness, I could tell my compliment made Helena smile. Well, that's good. We found some fuel and got the generator started. The office lights lit once more. Is that how that works? There we go. That takes care of that. We should probably... God, did I do something wrong? Oh, no. No, it's fine. I doubt that flickering was because of you. The generator's probably just gotten weaker over the years. Let's turn off all the non-essentials and use my desk lamp for the light. The office was bathed in a faint glow of a lone light bulb atop my desk. Helena and I found a cozy spot to sit down and rest for a bit. You know the interesting thing about this story so far is, like, most of the stories have been, like, over the span of a few days. This one seems to so far be, like, all in one day. It's very, very different take on this, which is very interesting. So, warming words. Thanks to Helena's efforts, I finally managed to wrap up my work for the day. Well, the storm doesn't seem to be dying down. Why don't we talk about stuff to kill some time? Talk about what stuff? I guess for starters, what's your favorite thing? Hard to say. Maybe my SG radar? Your radar, huh? I had a hunch. What about something more general? Nice clothes, I suppose? I made a mental note to buy some nice clothes later to thank her for her outstanding performance today. I see. What about... something you consider a shortcoming of yours. What is this, an interview? Are we like interviewing her for a job or something? What are we doing? A shortcoming, well... She gazed into the floor and went quiet for a short while. I dislike going into battle. Because every time I see my friends get hurt, it feels like my heart is coming apart at the seams. I really wish I was stronger so I could do something to prevent that, not just watch powerlessly while it happens. A somber look formed on her face. She fell silent again. In retrospect, I should have asked a different question instead. Yeah, that was kind of a weird question. Like, I don't know if that's, like, a question I would have probably asked and just, like, to killing some time. Dropping the topic, I got up and poured a cup of tea for each of us. Sorry about asking for such a touchy sub. Yeah, I'm not gonna be quiet. Come on. Though I should probably say, what I usually do is I will have, if they're both different outcomes, like there's like one or two lines that vary from it, I will usually go ahead and have one follow the other. So for now, we're gonna do sorry for asking about such a touchy subject. Thanks, Commander. Quietly give it to Helena. For me? Thanks for the tea. That seemed kind of generic, actually, now that I think about it. We'll see. Anyway, cup of tea held in her hands, she gazed through the office window, brooding for a considerable time. Eventually, after gathering up enough courage, she turned around and threw me a decided look. What about you, Commander? What's one of your shortcomings? And what do you do to try and make up for it? Knowing you, you must have some good advice for fixing your own flaws. Why are you shaking your head? Are you saying you don't need to fixate on that? Yeah, you'll be just fine if you work on it at your own pace. I should have said it sooner, but you've been a lifesaver today. You deserve a huge thank you for that. So thank you, Helena, for going above and beyond. You really think so? I'm delighted to hear those words from you. Her expression lightened up a bit. Yeah, I mean, I'm glad we were able to comfort her at the end, but who asks that kind of question? Like, who actually does that? Anyway, shattered glass. Crack. What was that? A gale sent an object crashing through the window, letting the fierce storm wind blow through the office. Commander, are you okay? Well, alright, I can't say the same for the documents, though. Or the rest of the office, for that matter. That Gus left a mess in its wake. It really did. We should do something about that broken window. First things first, the documents. She took a heavy book and placed it atop the stack of papers so they wouldn't be blown away. That should do for now. There should be a folded up cardboard box behind the bookshelf. Can you get it? Indeed, there was one. She fished it out and brought it over. Wait, she or I? Did I just read Mr. I fished it out. I'm sorry, Chip. I did it again! I'm sorry, guys. I'm so used to streaming still. Goodness. Great, just put it over the window and I'll fasten it with some duct tape. There. Now let's get the wet papers off the floor. Hopefully they'll still be legible after they've dried. Yeah, that's probably not gonna be... I mean, that's gonna be a very, very perfect scenario, or ideal scenario here. I don't know if that's gonna happen. After covering up the broken window, we picked up the documents spread around the office. The wind howled outside, buckling the cardboard in an attempt to break through. It's not going to hold for long. The winds are too strong. Now we better move these documents someplace safe, quick. Eek! Her foot slipped in the dark, but luckily I caught her before she fell over. Thanks, that was close. The floor is wet, so watch your step. Wait here, I'll fetch some mops. Man, this is one heck of a day. This is one real crazy day. Started out with, I mean, maybe that's the point of this story. Because it's like most of them, it's kind of over the span of a day. Like either it could be a whole week or something, and then it covers in the weekend, like how we had with Palm Yacht, or it could be just a couple of days overall. But Helena's is literally just all so far. I'm assuming has been all one day, and man, this has not been the best of starting days for her. Granted, she's done really well. It's just everything else is just not. It's not been great. Yikes. It struck me just how proactively she took care of one problem after the next. She likely didn't notice it herself, but I definitely did. Yeah, she's very, very, she does a very good job at taking care of things as they pop up, so that necessarily is a pretty good, that's a good quality to her. Hopefully we tell her about that at some point. I know she worries about, I mean, it's something that I think that's been pretty apparent, both in normal her and I think that her meta form, is that she really does care about everybody. And she does kind of feel powerless a bit, but I think the meta version really figured out what to do in that case. Well, to a degree. I don't think she has everything down. Yeah. After carrying the documents to a safer place, Helena and I mopped the floor. We were both tired after dealing with so much in such a short time span, so we lay down on the couch, I almost said something completely different, to rest for a bit. Crash boom! The thunder kept on booming. I suspected the storm wouldn't let up until the morning. All of a sudden, Helena grabbed my hand and held it with a trembling grip. Sorry, I just need a little something to help me relax. Oh. I can let go if this is making you uncomfortable. I mean, it doesn't make me uncomfortable at all. She kind of needs some... I mean, well, okay. Part of it is because technically she's an oath of mine, so I don't have to worry about this. This is something I would do for an oath. That's kind of something you should do for somebody of that, like, much significance for you. But I don't know. The monitor... Hand-holding is definitely up there in the very yabe area, I would believe. But nonetheless, not at all, I'm here for you. The shaking in her hand calmed down a little by little, giving way to a comforting warmth. The warmth was soothing to my heart. The office became like a cozy lighthouse in the eye of a turbulent storm. Fatigue had finally caught up to me after such a long day. My heavy eyelids were closing on me. That's when Helena's head brushed against my shoulder. And she's see, this is another reason, like, this as an actual, like, CG art, I'm pretty sure would be an adorable thing to look at. I feel like I'm just gonna end up ranting about wanting at least 1 or 2 special, like, memory dialogue scenes where one of them's got, like, a CG to it. Because that would make it all the more, special, and it probably would get people more interested in going through these character memories. Not that people wouldn't. I think a lot of people are still going to go through these because they like a specific character or they're curious about their story, but having these kind of like CGs or something, I think is going to add an extra element for those that would like to see that. Because I mean, there's some really, really good artwork that Azur Lane does have. And I really wish they would spend more of it on their character memories, just to kind of build their characters more. I guess it's just something I can add to the list of things I'd like. But no, our lovely cinnamon roll is out like a light. While we hold her hand. I don't blame her for dozing off on me. Her first day on the job had been incredibly hectic. It wouldn't be long before someone came to check on us. I decided to get some shut-eye. The calm after the storm. Port the next day. Sigh. Come on, sleepyheads, that's enough, wake up. Let me guess, it's St. Louis. I didn't even get to read it yet. I'm already laughing at it. Opening my eyes, the first thing I saw was Helena's. Last time I checked, she was leaning on leaning on us. How did that happen? That's what I want to know. How did that happen? It seemed I'd ask for a lap pillow at some point before dozing off again. What the hell are you two doing? Huh? Honolulu. Lewis, why are you here? To check on you. You never came back to the dorm last night. We figured it was because of the storm, so we waited for the rain to let up first. Care to walk me through what happened? Please don't tell me any funny business went down. Sure. It started late in the evening, and we recapped the whole thing, I'm assuming. Alright, I'll take your word for it. Now that the sun's up. Yeesh. Geesh? That's not usually how it's fine. The storm made a worse mess of the office than I thought. We need to order a new window pane, replace fried wires, tidy up the place. There's a lot to do to better prepare for the next storm. Commander, should I go ask Akashi if she can provide new electronics? Go ahead, I'm sure you can work something out. Just be careful of your wallet. She steals wallets. Alright, I'll see you in a bit. With a blush on her face, Helena made her swift exit. Something's fishy here. I'm going to have to press her for the real answer about what went down last night. How about we say they had a sweet moment and leave it at that, Lewis, why? No, don't. Lewis, stop. Cease. Cease. Don't go there, woman. Commander, be a dear and keep looking after Helena for me. You bet. Well, that was kind of an interesting one, I guess. It really wasn't, I don't know. I think I kind of like it when it's, you know, when a character's story arc goes over more than just one day. Granted, I know that this is kind of a different storyline approach that they had for this, which I guess I can appreciate them trying something new. But I don't know, I generally like to see the the change over time, like if there's going to be any type of temperamental change that they go through or any kind of like mindset that they have. It's kind of nice to see that over a period of time. Like I think Ulrich's actually did a good job of that, where she kind of comes off cold, but then as we kind of get more familiar with her, we see how she's kind of she really is kind of a kind character and does actually genuinely care about people. She just chooses to hide it, and we don't really understand that until later on. Granted, it's Helena. Most people probably know how she is, and that's probably playing a little bit into it. But man, I mean, this is almost borderline Akko level with how that went down. Like, for those of you who don't know, Akko is a character in Blue Archive, and one of the events that she was kind of like controlling everything, she was planning out everything. Everything that could go wrong went wrong, and then there were things that they didn't even think could have gone wrong that still went wrong. So it was just utter chaos. And for what Helena went through for that one day was definitely something that was chaotic, but it still kind of showed everything about how she kind of is. I do kind of appreciate that they went with that. I would have liked to seen things progress a little bit more, like more time passes and all that stuff, but I kind of find I guess I kind of find this single day approach to be very interesting. Not a bad thing. I think it didn't hurt her at all in terms of like character establishing or building or anything, but it really does. I don't know, maybe I'm used to the older format. That's probably what it is. Also, Yostar, please, or Yostar Manju, please please consider character CGs. I would have loved to see the one where she just kind of is like dozing off and like at the very end there. I'm not the wake up part, but the other. Though I'm pretty sure people would be would probably like the other one too, just because. Anyway, there wasn't too much I can really say more on it besides that. I mean, she is a very meticulous girl. That's kind of how she is. She does get a little bit obsessed with things, because that's just how. I mean, really, the best way I can put it is just how she is. This is something I've known about her pretty much since I've really started using her in the early days of when I was playing Azur lane. That said, I did enjoy it. Probably not to the same caliber as a lot of the other ones, just because of, again, the passage of time, but it was still a good little bit for her, for sure. So, anyway, that is going to be all for this video. I do want to at least let everyone know that if you are wanting to see another character memory be played out, feel free to let me know in the comments below. If you already do see somebody else commenting it, feel free to just, you know, upvote it, and I'll kind of go by which one is the more popular one. I put it that way. I guess you could, I mean, you could comment twice, but honestly, you're just splitting the vote. I do kind of, really, I always do like these, but man, they really need some CGs for these stuff, because it would be so nice. Maybe it's because I'm so used to how Blue Archive does their character stories. They always have to have that one live 2D CG. Well, I don't know if all of them do have that, but you know what I mean, for those of you who have seen me for the Blue Archive stuff. So, nonetheless, that's going to be all for this video. Hope you guys did enjoy it. I definitely did. I will see you guys in the next video that live stream that I do, and I will see you guys all again real soon. Laters!